you ever wanted to wear your cat's feet around your neck? Me too! That's what we're gonna do today. Hello everyone and welcome to another video. We are going to be making custom paw print necklaces with the intention of turning them into Etsy listings on my shop. The lighting here is worse, but at least it won't shake this way. I have never done custom listings on Etsy. Before I dove headfirst into listing it, I just wanted to make sure that the process worked before offering it to the mass public. So I reached out to a couple friends of mine. One of them sent a photo, one of them sent an ink stamp. Both of those were regular toe beams. One was a cat, one was a dog. And then the wild card, I asked my friend who has a bearded lizard. So we're going to be playing around with lizard feet as well. And of course, let's not forget the absolute most important part, gathering my own cat's toe beams. I actually found this the easiest and least stressful by just taking a video of it, and then I grabbed screenshots of the video later on. This was the safest for her, which is important right now because we're managing her stress, trying to keep her healthy, but that's a different story. So we grabbed her toe beams in a video and grabbed some screenshots. For my process, I brought the photos into Photoshop. Now I am working in a prehistoric antique version of Photoshop, CS5, because that is the one that I own, and thus I don't have to continue to pay for it. This is just the program that I have and that I know. But the process was the same for all of them. I brought them into Photoshop, I lassoed around the toe beams, or for the lizard, the whole hand. Turns out they don't have toe beams. And I copied that onto a new layer. And then I saved out all of the toe beam designs into their own transparent PNGs and brought them into the laser cutter program. From here, I thought that the process was going to be fairly straightforward and easy, and oh, how wrong I was. The first day I went down and just tested the printability of the designs just to make sure that the designs worked and to figure out what I needed to do to refine the process as I moved forward. So here on the first day, I made myself a tiny little template, and I don't know what I was thinking. I thought that this was going to be the final jig and that it would work perfectly. I don't know what I was thinking. Obviously this wasn't gonna work. The first pass was incredibly quick, surprisingly quick, and that turns out it's because it wasn't cutting anything. I had it set to score, and you need to set it to cut. So take two on that. And pay attention, because here is my proof that if you move nothing and you just hit process again, it should go to the exact same spot as it did before. Keep that in mind. I figured I could be sneaky. I could just cut it out, keep it in the same place, and then sneak the blanks on into there, and it would cut perfectly. You can already see where this is going. Somehow in the process of swapping from the 40-watt laser over to the infrared laser, I talk more about this later, it got shifted. Something got shifted. I don't know if the wood got shifted. I don't know if the program just forgot what was happening. I don't know what happened, but the alignment was so off. So off. You live and you learn. So I flipped the blanks over and cut on the other side. Weirdly, I was able to discover something because of this. And weirdly, when I tried to do test prints on the back, they turn black. I guess it has a different coating on the back. I don't know, but both of them do it. This is the other one. And this one's a lot worse. I think this one shows what I'm talking about a lot better. We have learned. That was our test batch, round one. We have learned. I also learned a few things about what I want for the jig, the template, whatever you want to call it. So first up, I have to cut the wood. That means that I need to switch the laser back. I have two different kinds of lasers. One is a 40-watt that cuts all different kinds of materials, and then the other one is an infrared or IR laser, and that is the one that you use to etch the metal. Yesterday when I was doing the tests, I swapped out, and the IR laser is currently in there, which means that in order to make the jig or the template out of wood, I have to swap it back out, cut the wood, and then swap it once again to have the IR in there. Hopefully the rig can actually work and I don't need to do any more swapping, but we'll see. And swapping the lasers out is pretty easy. You just unscrew these two screws and you unplug these two hoses down here, pull it out and replace it. Screws hoses. There you go. I have found my flattest piece of wood, which is important for very precise things like a template. Aligning this is the tricky part. This is what it's like making a project for the first time. You're just like, do I know anything? What is this gonna do? What am I doing? And then once you go through the design process, especially if you've done it repeatedly, you look back on the first one, you're like, what was I thinking? What? So if it looks stupid right now, just know I will learn, I will get better. Okay, what about over on this side? Oh, okay, interesting. Still learning. Don't listen to me like I know what I'm talking about. There is now at least 10 minutes worth of footage of me just standing here silently thinking. Again, building a project for the first time, there's just a lot of problem solving and a lot of questioning that solution. But the hard part is learning that your first answer doesn't have to be the final answer. You can iterate, you can reiterate, you can continue to refine your design. And that first answer does not have to be the end-all be-all solution. In this case, it's just wood. I have a whole stack of it, and it's okay. And the laser can cut it, and it's not even a huge time investment either. Let's just cut what we have. I'm gonna go for it. So I ended up putting a rectangle around the full design. Before you cut anything, you can do the framing. And my hope, we'll see if this actually works, but my hope is that if the rectangle can serve as the framing guideline, this red laser crosshairs comes and puts a box around your full design. My hope is that if it is accurate enough to trace the rectangle the way you want it traced, that can serve as the best benchmark if it's aligned. Next up is swapping this back to the infrared laser. I've got it aligned, and the outside square turned out to be critical. What I was missing was rotation, and that's what the outside square turned out to be really, really good at. But now it's aligned. I think it's good. I have my file set up to do my first test print. Let's see if it works, or if we waste more materials. Oh, physical art projects. The design is centered, it has the name, It is much clearer overall. I'm very pleased with this. So I'm going to test the others. I'm going to keep going, and I think this one is good enough for me to do the product shots for Etsy. I don't think I need to keep printing the Miss Monkey necklaces. I can only wear so many. I will say the annoying part is that while I was setting up the camera shots to be inside of the laser printer, I absolutely nudged the wood, so I have to realign it. Ooh, I didn't even have a blank in there, you guys. It's my first time. What I'm finding out is that it's actually kind of hard to tell what is the front and what is the back, so I guess it's a gamble. Oh, it's so tiny and cute. Okay, that one is adorable. I love this one. It's so tiny. It's so cute. I thought that these were gonna be too small, but that's actually adorable. When the blanks first came in, the first blanks that I ordered were actually the small ones, but when they came in, they felt way too small. So I was looking for something that was a little bit closer to the actual paw print size, which now way too huge. And even while I was cutting, I was still expecting them to be a decent necklace size, but wearing them, the tiny ones are my favorite. They're so dainty, they're so cute. I did not want to wear the big ones, so I was just like, you know what? We're just gonna keep them as keychains. Well, now I want to make tiny ones of all of them. They're so cute. It is now Saturday, and I have more supplies. I didn't really like the look of this corded necklace. This is definitely not giving you a great idea of it. I don't know, it's just, I prefer something a little bit more dainty. I'm sure this is absolutely somebody's style. Yeah, the cord, I wasn't fully on board with as I kind of came up with the idea, but I got them because I didn't want to give people chains that tarnished. And turns out I would rather just have it on a chain anyway, and if it tarnishes, it tarnishes. We have a whole bunch of chains and a pack of jump rings, and now we just gotta put them all together. So this is them fully assembled, and I'm so pleased with how they came out. I think they look super cute, and I'm so excited to be able to share these with other people who are just as excited to get their pets' paw prints on a necklace. And so without further ado, here are the results of the photo shoot. I I am very excited to list these. They are going to be available starting February 14th, which is this Friday, over on my Etsy shop, potatoparts.etsy.com, if you want your own pet paws on a necklace. Here I experimented with lizard paws, but if you have hamsters, guinea pigs, I don't know how you would do a paw print for a snake, but if you can figure something out, dogs, cats, if you have a pet raccoon, chinchillas. If you've never seen chinchilla toe beams, they are kind of wild. I am so excited to see everybody's pet paws. But until then, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!